Now and new at 6, the Golden Chest Mine near Murray is expanding their land holdings, but where are they headed? We'll let you know. Plus a robbery in Wallace and a man on the run. Channel 3 has the video. Also an update on the Jordan Martz rape case and where he is headed next. I'm John Webb and the news at 6 begins right now.
Channel 3 News is brought to you by D-Spot in Wallace.
You're watching Channel 3 News at 6. News anchor John Webb. Chief meteorologist Destiny Engel with her exclusive weather update. Plus reporters Megan Dorton, Amberly Phillips, and Kinley Fry. This is Channel 3 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm John Webb. In an update to a story we brought you about a month ago, the Jordan Martz District Court case has been scheduled for February 7th. On the 22nd of January, the 22-year-old waived his preliminary hearing. Now this means that the case will proceed to trial for a felony arrangement. The reason for this could be because he intends to plead guilty or the prosecutor has strong evidence. Martz is being tried with one count of rape with a victim under 16 years of age. Back in July of 2017, the victim was at her house when Martz assaulted her. His bail is set at $200,000, and according to Idaho Code, if convicted, he could face from 1 year to life in prison. Last Thursday at around 4 a.m., a man broke into the Dayrock Bar and stole around $1,400 worth of cash. Siobhan Corrett, the manager at the Dayrock, says the theft broke in through the back door and spent about a half an hour in the building before escaping.
They came in, kind of rustled through the whole building, broke into our cooler here, got away with some cash.
But the $1,400 wasn't the only thing they took. According to Corrett, they also stole some Hershey bars.
And some Hershey's chocolate bars. And we unfortunately don't have very much good video footage of this, but we have some.
And they're hoping that someone at home may recognize the man in this video. If you know anything about the robbery or saw anything, then you're asked to call the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office at the number you see on your screen. The Dayrock is also offering a reward. You could receive $500 or a drink every day for the remaining year. Corrett says she hopes the man who caused the damage will be held accountable.
Just thank everyone for keeping an eye out for people they might recognize, and we hope that we can find this person and they can spend some time in the clink.
In local news this evening, Shoshone County Fire District Number 1 and 2 are hiring a firefighter EMT. According to John Miller, the public affairs officer with District 1, they are looking for someone who has an EMT basic and a firefighter level 1.
We're looking for someone with great morals, honesty, integrity, hardworking, self-motivated.
The firefighter and EMT will work a 56-hour week and be paid anywhere from $10 to $12 an hour.
It is salary-based. So it is a salary, and you will have full medical benefits, a pension plan, and a retirement plan.
If you or someone you may know meets those requirements and is looking for a job, then they can contact the Shoshone County Fire District at the number on your screen. While I was there, I asked for an update on the new firehouse they plan to build. You may remember back on November 7th when 300 votes approved the $1.9 million bond.
Well, we don't have too big of an update, but we do. We're going to finalize our architect this week. We're getting a committee together tomorrow, and we're going to go review all the ones that submitted bids to be our architect for our fire station. And I would think by the end of the week, or I think mid next week, we'll have an architect picked out, and we can get the ball rolling with that.
After they pick out an architect, they will obtain a floodplain map to see if their land is in the flooding zone. Miller says he doesn't see the firehouse to be up and running until the summer of 2019. In local news, as the Lucky Friday is in the midst of a strike and the Galena is currently negotiating, the Golden Chest Mine, located just a mile southeast of Murray, is expanding their land holdings. The mine, that is over a century old, has acquired the land through an exploration and mining lease called Buckskin Claim Group.
And we pay them an advance royalty. So if we discover a mine on this property, they'll get 2% of the net smelter returns, which is basically 2% of the gold produced on that property.
The 218 acres of patented and 700 acres of non-patented is in the middle of exploration, according to Brackebush, but he says they see a lot of similarities in their new stakings in the Golden Chest Mine.
People discovered the silver, lead, zinc properties in the South Fork, and everybody went that way. We think that district has been neglected for exploration for over 100 years, and we think it's got a bright future as a gold producer.
Well, their new property will give them access to more than 4,500 acres along the Murray Gold Belt. If you have a scanner and can't pick up the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office and a few other emergency channels, that's because the 60-foot tower that transmits those channels has collapsed. The department has been receiving dozens of calls for the past few months concerning the dead signal. According to a press release from the office, they've had static issues with several of their channels. Within the last couple of weeks, they lost one of their vital communication channels altogether. After dealing with the poor signal for a few weeks, personnel rode tracked snow machines to the top of Sunset Peak and discovered that the tower that holds several radio antennas had collapsed and was lying on the ground. The sheriff's office says the cause of the collapse was due to heavy buildup of ice and snow, which caused the loss of support wires. According to the department, they are planning on repairing the tower once they can obtain full access to the site, which could be the end of spring. They said, quote, "As a reminder to everyone, even though this vital piece of equipment has sustained total loss and is non-operational, our communications center is still functioning and operating like normal. When you phone with an emergency, we still are able to send and communicate with all emergency responders in the field." The Wallace Junior Senior High Student Council is hosting a Sadie's Winter Formal Dance on Saturday, and our Kinley Fry is standing by over in the Channel 3 studio with more. Kinley.
Thanks, John. On Saturday, February the 3rd, the Wallace High Student Council is putting on their 3rd annual Sadie's Winter Formal. The dance is going to take place at the Elks Lodge in Wallace. It will kick off at 8 p.m. and last till 11.
It's where the girls ask guys usually, because in prom, the guys ask girls, so we want to flip it around for our winter formal. And we want people to dress up nice, and it's our 3rd annual, so.
The council is encouraging to get the students to eat out in the Silver Valley restaurants. They want to give back to the community by boosting their restaurant's economy by making a deal with the restaurants.
Kids go over and eat in Coeur d'Alene, but that's not giving back to our hardworking restaurants in the Silver Valley. So we're trying to pump money back into our hardworking restaurants in the Silver Valley. So we're asking local restaurants to give a 15% discount to couples who come in on the night of the dance, which will be February 3rd.
Reporting in the Channel 3 studio, I'm Kinley Fry.
Our new reporter, Kinley Fry, thank you. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Destiny Engel, who's over in the Channel 3 Weather Center with more on her 7-day update. Destiny.
Taking a look this week, you can see rain showers coming on this weekend. Now, the roads are going to be super slushy, so please drive safe. Rain is supposed to be coming throughout the weekend. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, snow showers mainly before 4 p.m., then snow after 4 p.m. High near 30 with southwest winds 7 to 11 miles per hour. The chance of precipitation is 80%. New snow accumulation of 1 to 3 inches possible. On Friday night, we're seeing snow mainly before 10 p.m. with an 80% chance of precipitation. The new snow accumulation is 1 to 3 inches possible. On Saturday, expect to see an 80% chance of precipitation with highs near 31. 1 to 3 inches possible of new snow accumulation. Saturday night, snow likely, cloudy with a low around 30. Chance of precipitation is 60%. Then throughout the rest of the week, expect to see highs in the 30s and lower 40s. Reporting in the Weather Center, I'm Destiny Engel.
Thanks, Destiny. Our other new reporter, Amberly Phillips, is in the Channel 3 studio with more on the child abuse case in Post Falls. Amber.
Thanks, John. 2 Post Falls parents have been accused and convicted of child abuse and torture to their 6-year-old son. It has been reported that the boy was taken to the Post Falls emergency room on October 8th by parents Melvin Bledsoe and Joy Anderson because his lips were turning blue and his stomach was swelling. He was then transferred to Sacred Heart Medical Center for surgery on his lacerated pancreas. When asked what had happened to cause his injuries, he would respond with, "Nothing happened at home," almost as if it had been rehearsed. Bledsoe is now facing charges of cruelty to children, and Anderson is facing felony injury to a child. Reporting in the Channel 3 newsroom, I'm Amberly Phillips.
Amberly, it's great to have you on the team. Thanks so much. In state news this evening, an Idaho House panel has introduced legislation that would allow trucks, buses, and other large vehicles to go the same speed limit as the other vehicles on the state highways. House Transportation and Defense Committee Chairman Joel Palmer, a Republican from Meriden, said Monday that he wants to eliminate the slower speed limits currently placed on truck drivers. Palmer says the separate speed limit system sometimes creates dangerous scenarios where truck drivers are traveling at much lower speeds than everyone else. The panel agreed to introduce the proposal, but it still must clear a full hearing. An investigation in 2015 by the Associated Press found that 14 states have speed limits for big trucks that are equal to or higher than their tires were designed to handle. Most truck tires aren't designed to go faster than 75 miles per hour, and tire manufacturers say traveling faster than that can cause a tire to fail and blow out. Finally this evening, the good news. A road tripper rescued 2 abandoned puppies from the middle of a desert and has since taken them on a 30,000-mile journey. 30-year-old Jordan Kahana was driving from Los Angeles to Colorado when he spotted the tiny dogs on the side of the road and quickly rushed them to a veterinarian. It was there that he found out that the pups were extremely dehydrated. Where they'd been dropped off was a hot spot for dumping unwanted animals. The dogs were given water and shots, but when it was time to leave the 8-week-old pups, Kahana realized he couldn't. So he decided to adopt them. Since then, the trio has had a plethora of adventure.
I've always loved dogs, and back in November, I was this close to adopting one too. But I got cold feet about the husky.
Since rescuing them in December of 2016, Kahana and his travel buddies have driven roughly 32,000 miles through 35 states, including along the east and west coasts. While Kahana says becoming a dog dad has been life-changing, he says it isn't all sunny on the road with Zizas and Sedona, but he sure is glad he found them, he said. That's it for this evening's broadcast. I'm John Webb, and for all of us here at Channel 3 News, have a great night.
Channel 3 News was brought to you by D-Spot in Wallace.